30 seconds to battle.
See a wrap around here.
Hello, hello.
Hello, welcome back, Avery.
Thank you. I was gonna say, the panel thought it was a very not free Meepo game, apparently.
I thought
They
it
had
was
some
pretty free.
Yeah, it's absolutely free. This is a dream last pick Meepo. There is very little AoE control, very little AoE scaling damage. You have a bunch of single target cores. The Kunkka Cleave's the one thing you got going for you here. And it's not a carry Kunkka, it's an offlane Kunkka. So in theory, you're playing this Kunkka for utility and teamfight support. I agree with the one aspect, like you have a lot of single target DPS to try and burst him down if you can isolate him with lassos in the late game. But well-busted cores, outputting a lot of single target DPS, and you can drag a Meepo out of position. That part can be kind of good. But outside of that, I mean, they picked it here for a reason, right?
I mean, aren't you also matched up into an Oracle? You have a whole bunch of single target. You're trying to burst down that one Meepo. What happens if that one Meepo gets Fate's Edicted or False Promise?
That is a big factor here. I like that. I think we should have seen this hero more than we have. He was really popular for a little bit, falls off. People kind of forget about him, but I think in a lot of these games, he can provide a lot. He's still fine on lane. He gives you a lot in a team fight, scales really well. And we've seen a lot of Batrider be contested, bans or picked. This is one of the greatest Batrider answers in the history of the game. It really forces you to pick either certain backline jumping carries or offlaners that have used summons, like the Lycan, for example.
Sure. And
we're just not seeing some of these heroes. So I feel like he has more viability than people give him credit for. And especially in a game like this, where you saw, in theory, the offlaner early with the Kunkka and the two supports, you kind of eliminated a lot of those big threats. The only options for Extreme Gaming were to pick backline jumping carries such as Scepter or, I guess, an illusion carrier like a Phantom Lancer that was still in the pool, but they opted for picking the sniper first, and then a lot of those carries got banned.
Actually, the more I look at it, I feel like Extreme got dumpstered in the draft. My goodness, like not just the Meepo, but yeah, they have a whole bunch of single target, and it's not just the Oracle with the saves. They also have the Ringmaster with the saves. You even have an Undying Soul Rip save that can come out. So I'm actually really struggling to see how they're going to be able to focus one target down when they go for that axe or the lasso or what have you. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Plenty of team fight on the side of Pvision as well, thanks to the Ringmaster and Undying Offlane. One good thing is going to be this XM matchup early on against the Storm Spirit. Maybe he can get an advantage here, having the range advantage. Right now is not getting the CS advantage, though.
So far, lanes are going Extreme's way. A little bit across the board, all their cores are CSing well. That's another way they can stall out this Meepo strength. Put this Morphlane and Sniper in a position where they dominate the map early, and you just don't get that chance to farm. We've seen their Sniper go through camp. You gotta remember, this is an XM Sniper. This is a hero that is sometimes just first phase banned straight up against this team. Cannot let them get their hands on it, and it's for good reason. He is a master Sniper player here.
Going back to the Ogre as well, a hero that you and I casted, which did not have very much success.
In the offlane.
In the offlane, yes.
Here it's a little different. You have really good bloodlust targets. You have a decent point of attack against killing the Tombstone, getting some extra burst damage against the Storm with your limited stuns. It's kind of like Ogre versus Storm, because in general, you're a tanky support, hard for him to burst. You buy nice utility, and then you are one of the few 5s with an actual stun that can contribute to locking down.
Really good lockdown here from PV. Looks like they should take down Jin-Q easily.
Oh, yeah.
Combination of getting the extra Meepo, then a Fortune Zen hits him, then a Flood Grenade on 2.
That was my
Stella's not even a close trait. Like,
No.
They have full resources on pretty much both the Meepos there. Just a pretty standard point of attack, and now you're going to get the Oracle to level 3, which is a really nice timing on the lane.
As a result, Cause might even be able to get a pull in here. Nope, Jin-Q's going to interrupt it. Flame break him away.
Radiant are scared.
Well, we're probably going to need to see some sort of rotations out of Extreme. That's also something that I'm kind of lacking to see here. What are they going to do? No one getting low here. The final Shrapnel is going to come out, hit him with the Ignite. Not going to be enough damage. Decent decent amount of pressure, but unfortunately not the kill that Extreme is looking for, whether it's in the mid lane or against that Meepo. Extreme do kind of need to get something going in the laning phase here, but they don't have the best rotating heroes in the world.
Your strongest spell is 3 points and shrapnel.
Yeah.
You gotta play through this sniper. Either skirmish around mid or rotate him to a fight that breaks out somewhere else. I say that it's not gonna be the sniper making the move first. It's gotta be a fight breaking out, and then you counter play that fight as a sniper, particularly on this Meepo lane. The Meepo runs someone down on this lane, you can easily turn that fight with the sniper coming in. That could be something that Extreme Gaming look for, but to me it has to be through XM here in the early game. It's not gonna be the Morph lane. Maybe the XXS Kunkka if you can get a fast boat up. But that's kind of his only early damage. Like, you just don't kill this Meepo on the lane, especially with an Oracle sitting behind. And that's another tough point in this game for XG. The Oracle is really good against the Kunkka's damage in this game.
Yeah.
So XXS is not going to give you a lot of that early game team fight boost. You need other cores to get involved early with the physical DPS.
Here comes Satanic. His first move as the Meepo coming through the gate with one of his Meepos. The Oracle's also coming through the gate. They go after Ame. Tombstone is going to be dropped out underneath this tier 1 tower. But goes out for the Tombstone instead. They still got the kill on Ame. Jin-Q is going to try and run down Night Class here. As he's got him with the whoopee cushion there. But in the end, it's Pvision just outnumbering Extreme, getting a 2-for-1.
That's what the Meepo does. He can make the gate rotation while staying bottom. Kind of eye up which opportunity exists there. If it does, you pounce. If it doesn't, you just keep farming. Really nice use of the early mobility, and not a fun lane for XG to skirmish into. Offlane Undying. This hero is terrorizing the meta right now for good reason. It's a little hard to fight into the Tombstone early. Even if you bring it down, you're going to end up losing the fight. And again, in exchange for XG that does not involve the sniper, probably not one you're going to come out on top.
No one. He does manage to push through the laning phase without a death, and now has his level 6, so not expecting him to die, at least not to the sniper solo, and has walked away with really good CS. Despite all the pressure that has been attempted by XM, hasn't actually worked.
Nice chilling here. Did lose an obs on the hill to Jin-Q, but other than that, it's just jungling. Not much threat on him in the jungle. Can't get deep wards out. This Batrider, not that easy to hunt the Storm early. Now he's level 6, even more difficult. Oracle's lurking around. A lot of defensive vision around the river. Pvision right now that XG are not having fun playing into, so they're just going to go back for the stack game, try and farm them on their own and exchange these Wisdom Shrines. Seems like a slow game plan for XG in this game 1. They're just going to farm up, believe in their scale, try and take it to the Meepo in the late game. Sometimes a strat that can work if you go ultra late, the Meepo does eventually fall off in a lot of games. But even then, he can be a decent meat shield this game. The Storm, who's the real carry.
Sure.
They are not all in on Meepo having to solo carry this game. That's kind of the scary part of the lineup. I think it's a pretty good Storm game as well.
I've also seen these Undying scale up pretty nicely too. They don't seem to fall off quite as hard as maybe they used to. Harpoon's a really good, helpful item for this hero.
I mean, they have
two daggers.
Is built-in Aegis, so yeah, can't scale too poorly if you have built-in Aegis. This could be a free tower, or Pvision gonna defend this. They're just jungling. No interest in interacting with XM early.
I think that's the right call. I don't think you want to be trying to fight the
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
With 55 damage, it would have been impressive to get that deny from Takalis, but sadly, Oracle's damage is so terrible.
There's no way it should have been that close, though. That would have been incredibly embarrassing. You could get tier 1s for free this game if you're XG. The faster you take them down, the better. I mean, the Meepo's going to jungle, the Storm's going to jungle. You take away the power roots from the Storm. Sniper doesn't use them too well, but you can deny him out from no one. Be able to limit his rotation ability.
Dire's middle tower is under
Rotate
attack.
Ame into mid while the team makes the move towards bottom.
Radiant's bottom
Pretty
tower
tough hero
is under
to
attack.
pressure mid at all. And again, not a tier 1 that Pvision are going to defend unless you're willing to bring everybody down here, including the Undying, and it's just not in the cards.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under
Is
attack.
it bad to give up this many towers early?
Well, just Depends on your lineup, right?
Radiant's
Depends
bottom
on if
tower
the
is
opponent team
falling.
can actually use the space as well.
I guess I'm asking, what is the impact of losing your mid and safe lane tower this early into the game?
You're going to lose a lot of jungle control. Enemy has better routes to gank you, they have better routes to get deep boards out. Our rune control becomes a lot worse. Your aggressive moves, you have to make them from farther on your side of the map on average, which means your smokes have a worse chance to land. All these things compound. Generally though, the biggest issue is enemies just going to farm more gold because they have more access to your camps. And we're seeing that right here, right? Sniper's getting really aggressive. And angles to flank him are a little worse, so more confidence here for XG to command this area. They got the deep ward out. This is now pretty difficult for Pvision to push into unless you bring the Undying and make a concentrated play. They're trying to get DM involved, and it's going to be a smoke to wrap around mid. This move should be telegraphed with nobody showing top.
Kitchen Satanic trying to burst him down with a Kunkka combo, but there's the counter. The car shows up, one Fate's Edict, and there goes the whole move. Ame's gonna get jumped here.
The waveform for
They don't have enough damage. No one, he zips away. Now the rebuttal from Extreme. Two support units now trying to catch Nightglass here. Assassination not going to be good enough to hit the flame break. That's also not going to be good enough thanks to Nightglass having that strong man's tonic. He heals himself up enough. He survives.
That was really forced.
It was.
You don't really have Sniper in the vicinity to help you. You have to expect the sustain coming out from this lineup. You have double saving supports on the side of Pvision with a lot of extra HP in the tank. That was an Arcane Rune Storm. No one's out of mana there. Maybe that dive can work out, but he still had a lot of resources to work with here.
I do feel like there was a pretty clear difference just back to back there, right? Pvision, they try and go on Ame. They run a little short on damage. They don't die too heavily, you know, they don't force it. They just kind of like, okay, whatever. We got a reaction. Extreme, though, they feel kind of desperate, and I assume that's part of it is the pressure of playing against a meepo. They feel like they need to get punishments in. They need to take control of the game here and now. Pvision, it feels like time is to their benefit.
It could definitely feel really tough to play these games. You feel like you got in this last draft pick. Maybe there were multiple heroes you were worried about. This was only one of them. It's a tough spot to be in. It usually results in you being on the clock. You have to make another attempt here, but a dodge with the illusion.
That was a sick move. Nightglass. He hit him with the whip, and then he hit him with the Funhouse Mirror to disjoint the X-Bow back. That was really cool.
Well, plays were not easy in this game for XG. He's going to demoralize you even more.
Got the last on the HP, but there's also a false promise alongside the shield rune. Not even close to going down.
It's going in.
He's going to need some more help for this sniper. Brimstone laying out right on top of him. XF half HP, and he's going to die. Just managed to get that much. Ame turning into the Undying. Good decay both here. Stone pretty nice, but the people you know the team fight. Tombstone's going to die. The other Tombstone is this team fight is not going to work for Extreme. XXS, he can keep on hitting those Tidebringers all he wants. They just do not do enough damage to threaten the meepo.
This Morph just doesn't have enough points in the attribute shift either. He took some stats, so the shift is a little slow. He's just getting bursted on the back end of the meepo burst damage. Maybe he goes down there regardless, but the Diffusal already has Satanic. He gets to come in with triple meepo, clean up that fight. No boat to bail you out. That's a huge factor for XG. And again, what starts all of this off? Just kind of a fourth lasso play around that rune on a Storm who's never going to die in that situation. You give up so much positional advantage. This game just looks tough for XG. None of these fights feel easy. It feels really hard to take single targets down. The Morphle has been shut down multiple times in the early game, and this meepo is already starting to snowball. A really strong pick with a really good start here on the best carry player in the world, according to himself.
He did call himself that, yeah. I don't know if I believe it, but I definitely, he is 100% in the top 3, probably top 2.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I think there's a very clear argument he might be the most valuable carry in the world right now.
I would agree with that.
I think that's
sure.
not even close. Like in terms of age and, you know,
versatility,
potential, yeah.
I mean, the fact that you can pick this guy meepo, your total could never.
I'm not I'm not going to fall into that trap.
Avery almost took the bait. I saw him get a little flustered there. He got a little red in the cheeks. He wasn't happy about that.
Look, playing Meepo it's a good strength, but it's not the end-all be-all of a good character player, all right? You know, until this kid shaved his head on the TI stage, I'm not gonna push him too much more. But we'll see how the season ends. We'll see how this tournament ends. Right? We're down here for a reason.
That's true. Pvision were not able to get top of their group.
Looking solid in this game, though. This is kind of where you want the Meepo to be. A little bit ahead of everybody. Should always be ahead. It's kind of an alchemist type hero. And just cruise to some solid timings. That said, XG, their cores are probably not feeling bad in this game. They're all finding some decent farm. You are getting the early fighting items up. I just worry about how much this net worth on XG's cores is going to translate into a team fight win if you can't find some big lasso targets. Particularly if you bring this Meepo down at some point when he has double saving support plus an Undying behind him. There's a lot of HP to get through in these fights. Limited damage sources on XG. It has to come from the Morphling, it has to come from the sniper. Ame, he is in big trouble down here, completely alone. No help in sight. A long way to run.
Waiting for him, but now Satan's going to show up, and now they're up. It doesn't matter. He's locked down by the Earthbind.
No chance to get out of here. You get found that deep in the map, you're absolutely done. Nice read to get the quick carry pick. That's a third death for this Morphling. They are adding up here. It feels like every time he's died, it's gone to the Meepo. For Satanic.
Like dagger up, but he got up the flash golem on DM. That's going to make this kill. Not impossible, but definitely too hard. He is now jump in from the strong sphere. Gets grab on XM. The boat's going to help them be a little bit tankier here, but XM is so low. No one's just going to get more content. It hits on the Pelosin as well. Another time that Extreme, frank and aggressive, immediately rebuked by Pvision. They walk away with 2 kills.
There's just no way to set these plays up. It's too easy for the Pvision supports right now. Not enough burst damage to get these heroes before the saves come out, and the second the saves come out, that fight is not favorable for you because your damage sources are so limited. Issue getting the lanes in versus the Meepo, who's controlling the map and the jungle. It is a big threat when he's off the map. You're scared to push these lanes into the sniper. As you saw, you get found on Ame, you just get run down. You can't TP out, you can't run, you just get whittled. Map is really tough to play right now. XG looking for answers. It's got to be Jin Q. I mean, that's your only source of playmaking. Like, keep finding some lassos on isolated targets. Hope he is not there to bail the guy out or find one of the supports to start a fight.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
No one back towards bottom. Trying to kick people out of this area. Feeling Ame was returning to his usual hunting ground, but he's already bailed out from there. No interest in near these heroes without some defense capability. Manta's coming out soon. I guess that's another route XG could go. You can just try and itemize to kite the fights out. Like, you go in, they use saves, they drop Tombstone. If you can completely reset, then you're happy with that exchange, because you don't really have any big cooldowns you have to play around. But that's going to require a lot of defensive itemization here. Mantas, Hurricane Pikes, extra 4-staff Glimmers, Pike from the Kunkka. You have to be able to survive Storm's mana capacity because the catch is really consistent here. Back of nowhere. He is hunting. 3-man smoke. Meepo can show on the waves. If you don't find anything here, you're just going to Rosh. Meepo does it quite quickly. You're straight to the pit. Why not? You have Undying Meepo. Really bad.
It's free. Extreme, I feel like we haven't seen any hunting parties to go find these solo Meepos around the map.
Nope.
Getting punished heavily for the fact that these Meepos can't push out the lanes, and then the rest of Pvision can play the map.
Scan comes out, but it's too late here.
Success gets slams into the time to snatch away the Roshan last hit.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Been an interesting situation, but instead it's the Pvision side walking away with everything.
And you wasted a smoke for this play. These smokes are super valuable for XG. You need to make sure you land them in this game. Maintain some map control. He's not ballooning yet, but it absolutely can off 1 or 2 fights as Meepo joins. And he's going to have Ags very quickly here. He's already level 15. He just to back it up, he's a monster right now. This is not a hero you want to take on before you have some better scaling items between the sniper and the morphling. I do like the idea of stealing the tombstone and dropping it this game if you're Ame.
It seemed okay, but then Meepo's a really good answer to Undying.
Yeah, that also doesn't help you there. Like, Meepo he just owns Morphling, right?
Yeah.
There's no way around this matchup, really. Best bet is like a BKB timing at some point in the game when you turn it to try and get a second or third Roche. Meepo's pretty weak against BKB, pretty weak against Force Staff. You can kite this hero out, kind of regardless of the matchups, but you need gold to do that. You need a lot more gold here. And Meepo is a timing-based hero. This hero just, he hits his drop, he just ends it before you get there. They've done for the Kunkka. XG will get their aura for the team fight. Pvision, they have other plans. They're just going to continue to take objectives. Free Tormentor for them. Why not? Speed gets the shard off. Good in this lineup for sure. He'll get it. Yeah, nice little Rain of Destiny. AoE heal.
Extra saves.
Healing, dude. This is where you get the locket. Just boost everything up even more.
Yeah, might as well.
They're itemizing well for the Meepo. You're going to have a lot of auras to put behind the guy. On the 9 class Ringmaster, you already have Pipe into Crimson for the DM of 9. And then you're going to have that Rain of Destiny plus, you know, all the single target saves to potentially bail the Meepo out. It's not just that you have to get through this guy. You have to get through this guy with all that behind him.
Yeah.
Which means you better find some lassos in this game, man. I wish Jin the best, because there's a lot of pressure to find correct target every time.
I feel like even if you grab one of the Meepos, you pull them out, Satanic just jumps to his Meepo. As soon as the lasso ends,
Radiant's
it's
middle
Mega
tower
Meepo
is
time.
under attack.
Yeah, he's not going to die in the initial goes.
Yeah. So, as you said, you got to be able to play for the reset. That's Extreme Gaming's. It did feel like the first 10-15 minutes they were like trying to take over the game, but now it seems like it's plan B. They're just going to have to let Pvision do what they want and hopefully get one really good defensive team fight that can even out the net worth lead that is going to grow for Pvision. I mean, you said it was 2K then, it's 4K now, but like the potential, it's ready to explode.
They're just banking on their scale and their high ground defense. In theory, there is a sliver of hope here for XG in the ultra late game. I can kind of see it with the bloodlusted cores and just insane single target DPS. Bo can pop a little bit in those situations, but with the backup he has in this game, that's a long, long way to the late game there.
I mean, you get Lasso, you get Tidebringer, not Tidebringer, Tidal Wave, rather. You've got Mega Meepo, there goes. False Promise for Satanic.
Yeah, not a bad start to this fight for XG. Yeah, they got a lot.
This is pretty much the perfect example of what Extreme needs to have happen, which is kind of a go and a reset. Now the question is, can they force a second team fight? Nah. And it seems like the answer is no.
Not without Lasso Boat. These are your pivotal spells to find something. I don't mind how they played that, though. I mean, of course, that was Satanic just completely forcing the action. Yeah. Basically 1v5. They didn't try and bite off more than they can shoot. Like, I think XG understand their position in this game well, even if it's not a fun one. We saw how fast that got taken down there.
Yeah, it's actually
You can absolutely burst heroes in 1 or 2 seconds as this game goes on. But more saves come out if the positioning's not there. And there aren't mobility items on the Ringmaster or the Oracle yet. And the Blink Daggers are not out. If the Blink Daggers come out on the Oracle and the Ringmaster, it becomes way more difficult to do that. But right now you do have a little bit of an opening because they itemize for more sustain, more auras.
also the BKB on Storm. There's only one BKB piercing ability. That's Lasso. That is completely answered by False Promise. That makes Ducalis' life like very simple. Did they use Lasso? If so, False Promise. So there are definitely going to be a lot of items that make Extreme Gaming's lives difficult in the coming minutes. But for now, they are weathering the storm. They did pick up that early shard, the top wave there from Kunkka. Also thinking about the aghanim scepter, just kind of full team fight build.
They're getting the damage up. Should be butterfly done for Ame before the next fight. The mini crit for the XM sniper into BKB. BKBs would be huge for XG if they can eventually get to them, but they might feel like they just need more damage to optimize their lineup with the bloodlust capability.
I think Polosin should have gone a hand of Midas.
Okay, well, let's not get anybody reported here, Austin.
I'm just saying, you know this, like you're playing defense and you're playing slow. I almost kind of feel like, oh, good sentry. That was a good read. I wonder how he knew that.
Midas on this hero does not pay off for... Like, it pays off economically, but I feel like... Okay, you get Midas, you get another item, and you can just have that item. And then, okay, you get the second item, comes out faster, but are items on Ogre Magi that impactful? And I always feel like
maybe the levels are, though. There's a bloodlust attack speed talent, right?
I mean, yeah, 19. 30. It's not as good a talent anymore. I agree with Fulton. Just get the Solar Crest, max the Bloodlust. You're a Bloodlust bot this game. That's like,
it's so sad, man. That was Dota 10 years ago. Position 6 Bloodlust bot.
That was when Jowley was playing Dota. He put his 5 straight back there.
You will know what it was like. I had to walk uphill both ways.
Storm Force double damage.
Pretty quiet game kills-wise, though.
Yeah.
You have to give XG credit there. They haven't had the Meepo. They haven't just been picked off around the map. As Satanic hits level 20.
He hits level 20.
And that is a good talent this game against the
Radiant's
Butterfly
bottom
Morphling.
tower is under attack.
Disgusting talent, actually.
You almost wonder,
Dire's
should he have
top
gone
tower is under
Butterfly?
attack.
Still like a good stat item. But that is pretty debilitating.
I think the Butterfly's quite good if you get the BKB.
Sure.
Without it, it becomes a little worse.
Well, he's not going BKB.
Yeah, I mean, it's still super high damage on this here. It's kind of hard to turn down.
Yeah.
That's what it's pretty bad against this talent. That is for sure. Now, should this talent exist? I don't know, but it's Meepo, so who knows anything. Scotty done for Satanic as well. He has just boosted the stats through the roof.
That's a classic, just some power creep. People not have. Oh, he has a hard time with evasion. Well, let's go ahead and give him a talent that gives him true strike.
Are scanning.
An answer for everything in Dota. Extreme are really trying to take this fight up here, huh? I thought they would just kind of let Pvision go for Roche. He said they're trying to get a little active with it. Tidal Wave pulling the Undying out of position, quote unquote. I think DM is perfectly in position, though. Just wanted to be able to hit somebody. Well, they got the flesh golem out of it, so.
Something?
Yep, and Roshan is not up yet, so flesh golem is going to be on cooldown when the Roshan does spawn.
What's your angle of this fight, though? What are you even trying to find?
Well, you make another play like that in 30 seconds, you get the false promise out of them. Then you make another play like that in 30 seconds, get the BKB out of the storm. And then you take another team fight, 10 seconds later, that's a good team fight.
Okay, well, none of that's going to happen. So realistically, you have to bait the storm to jump super deep into you where it can just get bursted down. You know, when he doesn't see his health bar going.
Away pushing him in. Jin-Q does not make the jump there.
For the storm on top of the BKB, he just got a lot tankier for this next fight.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The problem in these games is you end up in these standoffs. Meepo's just farming the map. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
it's Meepo. He's clearing through half the map. You're sitting here on Morphling going, we gotta do something because this guy's clearing 3 or 4 camps at once, and I'm committing my entire hero. So it just feels bad if nothing's happening. The Meepo is just slowly gaining a lead. He has his shard as well, so he has Mega Meepo with Dig available. He has his Striker Earth Binds. Deal in this next fight. If you're on have one defensive capability with the Manta, that's it. You have no Hurricane Pike, you have no BKB.
This is the point in the game where it is always a bait to go on the Meepo.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you can soft go on him to try and bait out the Mega Meepo or get some sort of reaction from Pvision, but there's no way to all-in this guy this game. Have to recognize that. Titanic, he knows it. That's why he's just going to force the issue. Go on me to be there. What?
Well, they can be annoying. They've got turrets and traps. They've got plenty of mission inside the pit.
How many teams here?
Probably shooting from the right. No one was going to pull it. Now the jump in. No one trying to take something here with his shield ring. Roshan on the high ground. Roshan on the high ground as well from Ame. So now they've got the advantage. Pvision make the call to retreat. Good call to retreat.
You get an X or something there and you can hold him in that area. Might have not been a bad fight with the tombstone advantage.
It is really showing that, like, I feel like Extreme is doing everything right, you know, but they still aren't winning. They can't win a team fight because there's just no way to keep heroes in the area once they get an advantage. It's that Oracle.
At least Roshan here might create some chaos. Amber making with the bat. And it's just, yeah, feel for Jin-Q, man. Like in any normal game, he would jump some of these, but he just can't. You can't jump anything.
No.
Until the fight develops more.
That's the good stuff.
Well, you're nigh impossible to kill. Time to take the action to the enemy. Satanic picks up like that. Chip him a little bit here. Here for DM. So the last one to the Ringmaster. Interesting targets. It's going to come in, do a lot of damage. So that fighter. Get down to just there goes no one. Position here. He gets a dig during the Mega Meepo. He's going to come back out. Has to quickly flank down here. Nothing to stop that, really. They get him inside the box, and the extra quick speed gets him out of here. Extreme through their buybacks and through their defensive positioning. Team fight.
Huge win for them. The position there was immaculate. They stalled this out so Roche goes bottom. They take a defensive hold on that high ground by the outpost, take advantage of the buybacks, take advantage of the high ground position that Pvision have to charge into, and they get clutch kills that they want. The burst damage going into the storm that completely opens up this fight. That was all set up by a fire blast, by the way. I told you this ogre stun is no joke sometimes when you're going into these fights. Just get stunned from the high ground, right? No one doesn't see him. One multi-cast
as well, yeah.
That's all it takes. And suddenly this fight's broken wide open because now you can kite it out. Some damage going on the supports. You wiggle through the saves. The Kunkka stands tall in the front crown. And Meepo can't do it all alone. Starting to get kited a little bit in this fight. Didn't get the good connection in the lockdown on the board. That is a massive team fight win in this game. The patience from Extreme Gaming here. They have a Scotty on the board, please. They have an Aegis. He's level 20. Really massive power play for Ame.
He tries to find a lasso instead. He finds death. Pvision. Despite the extra life onto Extreme Gaming, they're more than willing to take some team fights here. Especially if Extreme is not set up in a defensive position like they were before.
They're on the open. That fight is more fighting.
Trying to pull him in. Meepo coming in from the side. Looks out to the board play here. And out this board play. You can see blocked out by here and by. Just gets on his right here. No, he waits one down. Still has that Aegis. Gets pulled in by the storm here. He'll be gone on and kills Ame. He turns around on the night class. Gets that one. Still not dead yet. Now he falls. Loses that Aegis. Meepo is going to pick on the targets that are much easier to get grab onto the Kunkka. Works him down. Ame and XM. Now they're trying to escape here, but I think Ame is stuck.
Once you're earthbound, there's just no way out of that situation. Don't have the defensive items to do it. You're either winning the fight or you're losing it slowly. A beautiful Roshan fight, but actually overextend on the map, not respecting what won them that fight in the first place, which was the positional advantage. Just get run down in the open. There's no real way to burst a single target when your supports go down early like that. too much HP to work through on this Meepo.
4 kills to 1. Extreme Gaming did more damage.
I wonder where it all went.
More damage,
Dire's
but
middle
still
tower
only
has
got a
fallen.
single kill out of it. I was gonna say, it felt like off of that Roshan, it was feasible that we were gonna be able to go late game for Extreme, and we would see the Meepo kind of scale out.
Dire's bottom tower is under
I think
attack.
they should have just farmed with that Aegis, to be honest.
100%. Extreme got it into their heads like, oh, we want a team fight.
has fallen.
We've got this, as you said, the Escalating, we got the Aegis on the Morphling, we're strong. You're still facing the same problems you were before the Roshan, though.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Also, how many times are you going to catch this storm with a fire blast in it?
Dire
Like, that is the dream
scattered.
scenario, but very rare to get that if you're the ones going into Pvision side of the map. Just impossible. Support backline is going to be so well protected. There's the Swift Blink for Satanic as he pushes towards this level 25 would be another big timing for him. A lot of mobility now for the Meepo, a lot more damage that can come out. It's concerning for Ame. I mean, he had the one good fight around that pit, but otherwise this matchup has been a big problem for him. And without BKB, you're just high and dry. But I understand him not going for it here because he feels like he needs more stats and more damage to win the fight in the first place. He gets caught out. There are little ways to bail him out. There's the Midas for the Ogre. He went back for it.
Nice.
Don't mind this at all now. You're in it for the long haul.
World Staff for Japalis is going to make him just a little bit more annoying. World Staff is another hero that I feel like is crazy affected by Konka. World Staff is just way too good at destroying against all of his abilities.
Not a fun match. No Juggernaut. He's got to be up there.
Daedalus next for Ame. He just needs as much damage as possible. They get that one disable on one of these heroes. You need to be able to kill that hero within 2 seconds.
It'll become harder now that the blinks are online. For Pvision, they eventually got there with both supports, so those blink saves, a lot of range to work with on both the box and Promise here. Need really good positioning if you're XG. Try and take these fights around a high ground, around your vision, bait Pvision into you. That's the biggest component. Playing those initial portions of the fight really well and not getting baited yourself. Like, Pvision are probably going to show you heroes that are really tempted to jump. And you just can't commit to jump. You have to stay disciplined here. Make sure they jump you.
Radiant's middle
Meepo.
tower is under attack.
Look, I mean, this guy is just massive, dude. He's absolutely massive. If he finds the Morphling at the start of any of these engagements, the fight is just over.
Interesting
Be able to
call.
find him here. Look at the smoke.
They're gonna run into the Meepo. They had the scan off the storm raging. The Mega Meepo in time. Now that they mass teleport. Right away goes out. The fire here on the side. Last of the 9 class. This Mega Meepo got to the trade so much. Easily taken out by no one. Goes out. He's gonna fall. One other save. He's getting another box save going out. And Satanic is still catching them with the down this Meepo, and he might just have a chance to be able to do so. He gets caught inside the net. So slower Meepo trying to get away. Lower HP when the torch goes out. He thought he was throwing his dead. Not another dig out, but he got one of them. What is he going to fall? Did that much, but the decays are adding up. DM combined with no one amping up the damage. They had a buyback on Satanic. Wasn't necessary to win the fight, but ensures it and might just be able to take the entirety of Extreme space.
Not a fight you're ever going to win. You still had ceaseless Durs there. You had other buybacks.
Yeah.
The Dying got bailed out with a save on the outpost. That is such a tough fight, particularly when Satanic has 2 lives. They brought him down once. Credit to them. That was a clutch smoke. If they get him initially off that buyback before the Mega Meepo goes off, take the second half of that fight. The second Mega Meepo goes off, it just stalls
unless you just
there's no way.
the split-second perfect timing on Torrent or Boat or something. He's just the moment the Meepo gets there, Mega Meepo. It's an animated
Maybe full Daedalus on Mortal, you get lucky crits in with him and the sniper.
Yeah, maybe.
Unfortunately, playing into a lot of lives. You gambled, you lost, and you're going to lose 2 lanes here. They're going to walk down the third.
Before Ame is back up into play. Pvision thinking enough. The dagger doesn't land.
I mean, only 2 lanes. That is a lot, but of course, the Meepo buyback in this game. These fights are really difficult. Oh, win condition now.
They do. It's Roshan's going to be coming up soon.
This is your shot to win this game right now. You're going to have to make something happen. Find this Meepo, bring him down. The fight is open. Translate that into a victory here, because you're not going to get too many more chances in this game.
This Undying is also an issue because they can't focus on negative seconds. He's decaying like every 2 seconds. Area. Not a place I think he wants to be anymore. They're going to deal with the tombstone pretty quickly. So they've got a dire side tombstone out, and they're going to place on DM where they can't do it. DM's getting big aghanim scepters in. They've already taken out a here, but he's still not dead. On the right hand side, there goes that ogre. Satanic with the false promise onto DM. He's back up to full HP. Extreme just lose 3 and get nothing for it. Even if they killed the Undying, they're still that ceaseless dirge. No, he used it earlier.
He took so much. GQ took so much damage off the Pyrrhic cloak from the Undying. I was wondering what was bursting him there. Was there some weird interaction with that exacerbated the damage? He took 1,500 physical from Pyrrhic cloak in 2 seconds.
Yeah, that sounds right. They were throwing everything they had at Undying.
Yeah, I guess so.
And he's got like 6, 7, 8,000 HP.
I guess that adds up. Yeah, that's just a lot of burden. There's going to be your fight. There's the Megas.
And guarantees you're going to get Roshan uncontested.
Have an awkward way to try and take that fight with Kunkka just going up the hill, getting hit. Then you're like, all right, this is the fight. We're gonna go for it now. I mean, the high ground tombstone spots are honestly working better for XG than they're working for Pvision, because Ame just goes in, plants his own, has the vision, kills theirs. You have a tombstone, they don't. It puts zombies on the Meepo. It's not a bad idea, to be honest.
Yeah.
You just don't have the sustain. Playing the Megas here, look at Roshan.
Ame on the low ground, he backs away.
Pvision know not to do anything here. They're just going to sit high ground and watch the creeps assault XG's base.
XM isn't really going to be enough to deal with 3 different waves pushing in. Streamer just going to have to show more heroes eventually.
Honestly, scary for him to do this. Here, Pvision, it's pretty tempting to just send Meepos up here, or Meepo plus the Storm, jump to Sniper.
Like this idea, Ame trying to force things by going to the Roshan pit, but it's pretty easily dissuaded as DM's like, okay, I'm just going to start stacking up decays if you want to do that.
You gotta take some crazy risk at this point.
Yeah, I don't know how they start this, but Pvision is actually the one to smoke. They go for the sniper?
I'm gonna go sniper here.
Yeah, they're gonna go the sniper.
Like, who cares about Roche right now? I don't think it does anything for XG anyway. The sniper, you're gonna force TPs out of extreme. You're gonna put them in a really awkward position. He does have buyback on the sniper. That's kind of the one downside of his play, but you're gonna get
instant death for XM. Mass TP's back. They're to the corners. Dropping fast. They're gonna drop it. Back onto the wingman. Okay. Supports are dead. Somehow it ends up being Pvision who are out of position for them. They committed and got an X onto a Meepo here. Back in the Mega Meepo. Do they go the Undying or do they go the his buyback potentially as he's BKB. The Stormshooter's all over the board. Shivas goes out and chases after him and XM. He's needed to grab it. He runs out of mana. Oh my god. DM gets the dieback onto the sniper, and then it's up to Ame to carry the team fight. He clearly cannot against all the heroes of Pvision. Finally pulls out this game in 43 minutes. 3 minutes.